definitely didn't forget to press record the first time. I'm going to document what I'm doing to build a business that makes me money, primarily a software business. So I'm going to document like all the steps it takes for me to build this software and to like sell to people and do this and that. And this is day one. I'm making this for myself actually, myself 4 years ago, so that people who are like me can learn from the things that I did well, things I did wrong, and just the things I did in general. I'm going to treat this more like a documentary where I just turn on the camera and just talk about the work that I've accomplished during the day and reflect upon what I did as well as what I learned on the day. I realize this is not really the most efficient way to like make a content machine or like a viral engine or things like that, but it's what I want to do, and this documentary is not really going to be the primary thing. I'm going to be mainly focusing on like the business thing, the software thing, and things outside of content rather than the content itself. But who knows? If it takes off, then plans can change. But as for right now, the production quality is going to be like this. Like, it's a nice camera, it's a nice setup, but like the thumbnail is going to be just like okay, and the title is just going to be like brainstormed by me. The first thing I wanted to address is my time management. I wanted to purposely structure my time. Not like structure in a way where I plan out every hour of every day of my life, but structure it in a way that I can follow. So it'd be like big blobs of things that I'm going to do. When I first decided I'm going to like work for myself, I was like, okay, since I'm working for myself, I should be thinking about work 24 hours a day, all day, every day, no matter what I'm doing, so that I can like outwork the people that I'm going up against, these imaginary people, right? Or they're people, but like outwork everybody else, blah, blah, this and that. But I've realized that that's actually very counterproductive, and it's actually made my life a lot worse. I was not actually able to achieve much. So after months of going around in circles aimlessly, this is what I've come up with. I'm going to structure my time. After months of going around in circles aimlessly, I found out that that's actually counterproductive, and it's actually made my life worse. I end up not prioritizing my time effectively, and my time really gets like jumbled up to where like even if I work like a long time, which is like all the time, right? If I'm working all the time, that means like I'm always thinking about work. The times where I'm supposed to be like enjoying myself or in or enjoying my time with my girlfriend or enjoying my time at the gym, I end up feeling bad that I'm like, oh, I should be doing this right now and things like that. I end up feeling really guilty. But I believe that if I purposely plan my time, I can effectively work at a higher capacity as well as enjoy the time outside of work at a higher capacity as well. Because I'd make dedicated efforts to like do work and dedicate efforts of not do work. And that would just lead to an overall better life experience. So I've tried the like wake up at 5 a.m. thing. And while I do believe that it's like the most efficient way to get work done because like it lines up with your circadian rhythm and like you get to see the sunrise and things of that nature, all the like the human stuff where it's better for you. With the schedule that I have to work with, it's not actually that effective for me. I plan to make my schedule around my girlfriend's schedule, and she works a night shift. So she works 3 nights a week and she's off for 4 nights. So I plan to schedule around those nights. And technically, everybody has like 24 hours in a day. So it doesn't really matter when you get up and do work as long as that work gets done. And this is how I'm planning to split up my time. So how I got to this is I decided to work backwards from sleep because like is what you plan your life around. Like you sleep for like a third of your life. The way I found this is I decided to work backwards from sleep. So I decided I'm going to sleep 7.5 hours every night and do whatever I need to do with the remaining 16.5 hours. I decided to allocate 8 hours every day of work. So how I'm planning to achieve this is I'm going to have a timer set for 8 hours. And every time that I'm doing productive, like on task work, the timer's going to keep going down. And every time I get distracted or do something else, the timer's going to go off. And I'm going to prioritize getting those 8 hours done every day. And while I really wanted to like work 10 hours a day, I realized that's not really feasible at the start because I'm going to have to like titrate up and learn how to work 10 hours a day. So I think 8 hours every day is like a pretty solid thing because the normal work week is 40 hours. So like if I work 8 hours every day for myself, I'll enjoy it and have a high output because I enjoy it. I think that 8 hours every day is reasonable for now. Things can get adjusted up and down based on what happens, but I believe that rate of work is good, all things considered. Off the top of my head, work would include coding, filming and editing videos, or doing like a side job if it ever comes to that. But I do plan to do like 6 hours of like software work and then 2 hours of like video work. But if I end up needing more time, maybe I can allocate more time towards the work. Like maybe I need 3 hours of video time, so that'll be an extra hour, and I'll do 9 hours of work every day. Or maybe there needs less. Maybe I don't have the capacity to work 6 hours straight for coding, so like I have to take breaks and things like that. So I might need to split it up. I'll set this as the initial plan and then fine tune it as I start working. So with the 7.5 hours of sleep and the 8 hours of work, that's like 15.5 hours accounted for. I also prioritize the gym, so I'm allocating 3 hours every day to that. Even though I only go 5 days a week, Thursdays and Sundays are off, so I can allocate either more work hours or more girlfriend spending time hours to that. I'm also allocating 2 hours for like eating, like, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I that's also important, and half an hour for reading. The half an hour of reading is going to fuel the end segment of every video of like the what I learned today, either from coding or reading or working or doing any of that. That's what the reading's going to go to. And I really do like reading, so I just want to learn more things. But reading is not exclusive to books. It could be like articles, blog posts, like anything that helps me learn. I mean, I don't know if I should restrict it to reading alone. Maybe like watching informative videos would count as well, but we'll see. For now, I'm just going to stick to reading. So with the 3 hours of gym, 2 hours of eating, and half an hour of reading, that still leaves 3 more hours. Those 3 hours every day will be like the spend time with girlfriend hours. So those hours will be blocked to spend like quality time with my girlfriend. And me blocking off that time will just improve my relationship in general. I believe that's a big thing that caused like sort of like a weird riffle in my relationship, is like I was like constantly thinking like, oh, I could be doing something more productive, and not actually valuing the time that I was spending with her. So with those totals in mind, that totals to around 56 hours a week of work and 21 hours a week of girlfriend time. And as I mentioned, my girlfriend works 3 nights a week. So those 4 other nights I can allocate like the girlfriend time to. So that's like, instead of doing 3 hours every night, it could be like 6 hours for the nights that she's off. And I'm also planning to be really flexible. So like those nights that she's working, I can pile on more work hours, so that the days where she's not working, I can spend more time. Like if we have a whole day activity planned, I can put those work hour days aligned with her work night days, so that I can achieve the same amount of work and still have time for her. To keep a consistent sleep schedule, I'm planning to sleep at 2 a.m. and wake up around 9:30. I'm doing this because since my girlfriend works night shifts, it makes our schedules kind of closer together, because she does stay up late, obviously. So like 2 a.m. is like a really good time where we like get ready for bed and get ready to go to sleep and things like that. And 9:30 is early enough to wake up to where like I can like not really watch the sunrise, but like the sun is already out, and I can get work done while she's asleep, because she does sleep through the day. So all those hours of like productive focused work could be while she's asleep. Once working time is done, the other times throughout the day, I'm going to do my best to like not think about work, or to like wind down and enjoy the time that I have. And I believe that doing that instead of stressing about work 24/7 will overall lead to higher quality work. Because I believe in Naval's point of view about work, where he says people don't really work 80 to 120 hour weeks. It's really just showing off, because no one can really work 80 to 120 hour weeks with high throughput and mental clarity. The brain breaks down and you just stop producing high quality good ideas. He believes that the way people work most effectively, especially in knowledge work, is to sprint as hard as you can and then take long rests. And within those rests, you can reassess what you did and whether you're on the right path. He refers to this as more like a lion hunting its prey rather than a marathon runner. You sprint as hard as you can, you rest, you reassess, and then you try again. And eventually it becomes more like a marathon of sprints. So that's the plan for now when it comes to like time management. As for what I'm working on, I do have a few ideas. They all revolve around like fitness/powerlifting, because that's where I have the most knowledge of right now, and that's where I believe I can make the biggest impact. The first idea I have is to remake LiftingCast, which is the software that's used to manage powerlifting meets. Currently, the software they use is not friendly to the people that manage the meets, the people that are in the meets, nor the spectators who watch the meets. And powerlifting meets are already really boring as they are, but I believe with a few software tweaks, they could become more accessible to like the people who show up and support lifters, such as friends and family. Because what we have right now is not really user friendly to anybody, especially normal people who don't understand the sport of powerlifting. This can be done by simplifying the way that the meet setup flow works and the way that the meet information is displayed. My second idea is to create a platform for teams/coaches to streamline their operations. The current state of coaching administrative tasks is like really haphazard. A lot of coaches still manually ask for payment. They mainly keep track of who's up to date with payments, as well as other administrative tasks. Additionally, coaches rely on Google Sheets for program design as well as program distribution. So a lot of coaches will have around like 40 to 80 clients. And when you're communicating with all of them, when you're like talking to all of them, it's really hard to keep context of what each lifter is doing in their week, or like on even more specifically on the day that they're lifting, to like what their program has listed for the day and how they're supposed to execute it. So what they need to do usually is a coach will have a communication platform as well as the Google Sheets platform, and they would flip back and forth between each lifter, the conversation, the lift, as well as the Google Sheet to see the context of where they're at in their program. I believe that I can bridge the gap between that lack of integration and create a more effective coaching environment as well as a more effective communication environment for the team, the coaches, and the athletes. So those are two main ideas I have right now. I believe the coaching platform is not just limited to powerlifting coaching. It could be to like general fitness coaching as well as anything that requires like one-on-one interaction or even sometimes team interaction. So the maximum size of opportunity of the coaching idea is pretty large. But right now I'm going to work on LiftingCast, which is the powerlifting meet software. I'm hoping to have like a minimal viable product by this weekend so I can start reaching out to meet directors and getting their opinion on it and seeing if they'd be interested in it. And the overall plan is to have something for people to use by the East Texas Open meet, which is May 11th. And hopefully by then, meet directors would be happy to adopt the software, because if not, I'm going to have to like go the scrappy route, and I'll have to reach out to them saying something like, "Hey, I have software that'll make the meet experience for your supporters a lot more easy and streamlined," or something like that. But yeah, that's all I have right now. So lots of yapping, and I'll see you tomorrow.